Well, hey there everybody, thanks for checking in on my third and final episode of Wandering Around Iowa. If you haven't seen my first two videos, be sure to do that as well. And the links are below in the description, but let me get you up to speed. Day one was a long slog on the highway to the Loess Hills area of western Iowa. Rain had made exploring these roads downright treacherous. So, after some driving on Saturday morning, and fearing I'd damage these fragile and windswept trails, I decided to move east towards the center of the state. There I found Iowa's most famous roundabout, the Tree in the Road, an interesting natural roadside attraction that was right on my route to where I'm headed today. So grab a beverage and sit back and get ready to discover Iowa's most famous red landmarks. Well, my wandering around Iowa weekend is continuing, and it just wouldn't be a stop without stopping and checking in with the Bridges of Madison County. So let's go do that. After checking out the Tree in the Road, I headed a bit south and a lot a bit east, aiming the front bumper towards Winterset, Iowa. There are 6 bridges in the county of Madison I wanted to check out, all made famous in the romance novel by Robert James Waller and on the big screen adaptation featuring Meryl Streep and Clint Eastwood. First up is the span that crosses the Middle River, the Roseman Covered Bridge. Located 8 miles west of Winterset and built in 1883, the Roseman stretches 104 feet across the water and sits at the original build site. It has the signature Jones flat roof design and is built using a town lattice truss. It carried horses and motor traffic for nearly 100 years, all the way up until 1981 when a bypass was put in place. Originally built for just under $3,000, it cost just over $150,000 to renovate back in 1992. A couple interesting notes. It first became famous as a haunted bridge in 1892 after a jail escapee mysteriously disappeared after being cornered in the bridge. Trapped at both ends by the sheriff's posse, he mysteriously vanished. Some say you can hear laughter and feel a cold spot in the dark center of the bridge. The Roseman became even more famous in 1994 when it was featured in the famous Streep Eastwood film. Its iconic red paint had to be weathered to look old, and then was restored after the filming. Today, 30 years later, the film still draws thousands of visitors to walk across its old lumber floor. So, years ago, some buddies of mine, we stopped here on our motorcycles at the Bozeman Bridge. And when I saw the gift shop, I remembered they have ice cream. Sweet! When I was looking at how to get to all 6 bridges, I discovered they're all connected if you follow the Trans-Iowa Trail. So that's what I did, taking you through these wonderful gravel Iowa back roads. The Hogback Bridge is the northernmost covered bridge in the county. It too was built by Harvey Jones and George Foster back in 1884. The flat-style roof and town lattice structure make it a dead giveaway on who built this 98-foot span over the North River. The Hogback gets its name from where it is built, in the Hogback Ridge Valley, just 4 miles northwest of the town of Winterset. You'll find white boards like this on many of the bridges as a place for visitors to leave their mark, thus avoiding any carving and graffiti damage to these century-old historic wooden landmarks. To keep the bridges in good nick, the farmers living nearby maintained them in order to defray a county poll tax, which was usually around 50 cents. This tax was placed on men over the age of 21, and if a man couldn't pay it, he could grade the roads or paint the bridges to pay off his debt. As I drove toward my third bridge to check out, I wasn't sure what I'd find because the last time I was here in 2017, all that was here was charred remains. I have to say it was a wonderful sight to see the cedar-covered bridge once again making its span across Cedar Creek. The original bridge was built way back in 1883 at a site about 3 miles from here, but was moved to this location back in 1920. It carried traffic up until 1964, and today is the centerpiece of a small park along the roadway. These steps are known as Oprah's Steps because they were built for her show, which filmed here back in 1993. If you notice these brown tanks up in the ceiling, they're there to help save the bridge from the unthinkable. That's fire. This is the third rendition of the Cedar Bridge because it was destroyed not once but twice by arson, first in 2002 and then again shortly before my visit in 2017. What I do love about this new bridge, it's now only one of 2 covered bridges in the entire state that you can still drive your vehicle across. It's very cool. Winterset, Iowa isn't just known for being the hub of the Madison County bridges. It just happens to be the birthplace of cinema's arguably biggest icon, the legend, the Duke. We're talking John Wayne, and it wouldn't be right to not stop by and check out his big bronze statue outside his birthplace museum. Born Mary and Robert Morrison back in 1907, he became better known as John Wayne and starred in 169 films, most being Western and war movies. Throughout his 50-plus year career, John Wayne and what it was to be an American became synonymous. Big, bold, and a hero for justice. John Wayne rode off into the sunset for the final time in 1979. What's cool is along the sidewalk, you can check out the tiles featuring every one of his movies. My favorites, well, you gotta love True Grit. Rooster Cogburn is another fave. And since I owned a 76 German Capri, I'm a fan of Brannigan, one of his later films. So the fourth bridge I'm checking out is right here in town, but some construction has made parking a bit tricky. The Cutler-Donahue Bridge is right near the entrance of Winterset Park, but originally crossed the North River near the town of Bevington. Built in 1871, this 82-foot long bridge has the more traditional pitched roof and a town lattice truss. Built mostly out of white pine shipped from Oregon and originally held together with wooden nails, the Cutler Donahue carried traffic across the water up until the 1960s when it was replaced with a metal bridge. It took 2 days to move the bridge here to the park, where it received new beams and braces as well as a fresh coat of red paint. Okay, we got 2 more bridges to check out here in the county, and the next one is a big one. Located just a few miles east of Winterset over the Middle River, you'll find the Hollowell Covered Bridge. Just like several other of the bridges, it's named after original adjacent landowners, and this one is the longest of the remaining 6 bridges at 110 feet. Built in 1880 for just over $1,800, it replaced a previous bridge that had washed away about 4 years earlier. Instead of wooden dowels or nails like the other bridges, this one uses metal fasteners, which helped it carry traffic for over a century, all the way up until 1986. Just like the Rosamond Bridge, the Hollowell got some significant screen time in the Bridges of Madison County film, and it was said this long bridge was director Clint Eastwood's favorite. If you want to check out the 6th and final covered bridge on my route, you need to head east from the Hollowell Bridge to the town of St. Charles. Just on the east side of town, and only a few miles or so west of Interstate 35, you'll find the Imes Covered Bridge at the appropriately named Covered Bridge Park. The Imes is the oldest remaining covered bridge in the county, and was originally built at the Imes Crossing near Clanton, Iowa. Its pitched roof and 82-foot long span covered carriages and cars that crossed it all the way up until the mid-1970s. It almost all came to an end back in 1959 when a truck carrying 18 tons of corn crashed through the floor and down into Clanton Creek. It was quickly repaired and put back in service. In 1977, it became the featured centerpiece of a small park in St. Charles, and it's the first bridge you'll see if you come west off the interstate to explore Madison County. All these covered bridges in Madison County make it the largest group that exists in one area in the western half of the Mississippi Valley. Whether by car, truck, or bike, the Covered Bridges Scenic Byway is a wonderful way to explore and experience the history here in the heartland of central Iowa. This was actually my 3rd time visiting these old wooden spans, and they never fail to leave me impressed. You should check them out as well, and there's several links in the descriptions to learn more about each bridge and the various events and festivals you can attend throughout the year. Thank you all for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And don't forget to like and share this video as well. Also, be sure to check out my new website, firstpathfrontier.com, to catch more of my adventures in my little white truck. So until the next one, go get lost on some beautiful back roads, and I will see you later.